Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for many people's favorite segment out of all of my videos, and that is my client Emma's vlog. We are past 60 vlogs at this point. That means over a year of her training has been documented. So we started the week off on her max effort upper with a 45-degree incline. We didn't get a PR there, but we more than made up for it on deadlift on the lower day coming up. So overall, we're still happy with this. So for supplemental work, she did pause benching with a fairly wide grip. So it's pinkies on the rings for her, which is kind of baseline grip for most men, but for women, it's going to be considered a wider grip because notice the wrists aren't fully stacked. And it might be something for her and I to address when I observe that we might actually want to stack the wrist with a narrower grip so that we get the most tension on the pectorals. Again, these things matter. Your grip width and your forearm angles and stuff will affect how much length and position you're getting on the pecs. And if we're using it as a pec exercise, and in this case we are, because her pecs are limiting her max bench at the moment, she needs a little more chest, then these sort of things become important versus just practicing for a carryover to your max. For additional work, of course, we did incline. We do chin-ups, we do dumbbell lateral raises, and then we do band press downs. So that's her supplemental work. And so again, we have 2 supplemental presses. I'm not as worried about posterior end. Some people say, well, there's only chins in there. There's no other upper back work. And it's like, well, she doesn't need it. Look how many chin-ups she can do. Her back is stronger than her pressing. So we don't mind putting a priority on the interior side of the upper body there. And we've done a lot of phases where we've run, 2 different upper and middle back exercises. Also keeping in mind we still have the laterals. They work a lot of that upper back, right? People think of them as a lateral or medial delt exercise, but really they work the entire shoulder structure. They work the entire thing. Definitely have EMGs on that. We have biomechanics data on that. We know that that's the case. It's just that the levers on them are so bad that we have to use a tiny weight. All right, sumo deadlift, look at that. 300 pounds plus 45 pounds of band tension. All right, PR, we're good. All right, additional work on max effort lower day. We did good mornings with the cambered bar. I really like this bar. This is my favorite bar for good mornings, mainly because the amount of glute that it works, the way that it swings naturally, it changes your center of gravity. It lets you put a lot of weight on a good morning. And it really hammers that posterior chain in doing it because of the way the weight settles. Hey, phenomenal glute exercise. And then we did other work. We didn't get it all filmed this week. She did additional stuff. We did some single leg exercises, glute ham raises, reverse hyperextensions. All right, dynamic effort upper day. Speed bench, rotating grips, 9 sets of 3 with 3 different grip widths. Then we do incline benching. Notice the incline benching is all done with a pause. Again, the pause gives us more pectoral activation, gives us better power out of the bottom. Doesn't allow us to bounce or use momentum out of the bottom. It means we have to use the pecs to get that weight started. And in this case, a lot of interior delt also. No way to cheat it up. You can't remove that stretch from the pec because of it. Then, of course, we do chin-ups, lateral raises, band press downs. These are our normal go-tos for her at the moment. And again, everything's being worked. And as most of you know, I let her do the laterals because that is her vanity muscle, right? We don't want her focusing on that a lot. She's a former bikini competitor. It's a lot of issues that come out of that for many, many women. We try not to focus so much on her appearance and aesthetics. We focus on performance. Now, the end result is that she ends up just looking great. She looks great, and she's super strong. But we do always are cautious of that. But that's the one thing that I do allow her for the vanity in. She likes having the round shoulders. So we do that. We throw that one exercise in, and then we're good. Because everything else is just about being strong, being fit, having good body composition, good muscle, being strong and athletic. Right? But I let her have that delta exercise. All right, dynamic effort lower, final workout of the week. Speed box squats with a safety squat bar against bands. And notice the angles of that shin. Notice that vertical shank at the bottom. All right, we've got that stacking dialed in. There's no forward travel of the knee on that. Notice how similar that looks to a good morning on the way down. You see her good morning by comparison. All right, good mornings will teach you to box squat. They'll teach you to sit back on a power squat too. Useful tool. Maybe I need to be doing more of those again myself. All right, we also did speed pulls against bands. We're in a conventional phase. So her max this week was a sumo against bands, but our dynamic days we're doing conventional this wave. They're not related, by the way. People say, oh, so you always do the opposite. No, absolutely not. I run them in waves. And that's something to think about when you're running conjugate. Don't relate what you do for max effort with what you do on dynamic effort. Okay, there should be no pattern between the two movements in regards to what you do week to week. Just an FYI. That comes up when people ask questions about this. Think of them as programmed independently, but they weave together in a recovery curve. All right, we are doing dumbbell lunges, glute ham raises, reverse hyperextensions, and hanging leg raises. Now those last three, which you guys see me do, I did the same thing this week on my lower day. Exact same exercises for those. Of course, I don't do lunges, I do belt squats. But I'm a big fan, glute ham raise, reverse hyperextension, hanging leg raises. If you have access to the equipment, you should probably be doing these. I do, and I program them. I program them frequently. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.